So this is kind of the second part to the Canva Basics part one video. So I'm going to go into a little bit more in depth into kind of the basics around Canva. So just bear with me and I'll explain a few more things um, about getting started with Canva. So when you do create a new artwork, say I've got my vintage retro waffle social media post here. Um, when you do open up artwork, it will open up in a new window. Um, what you can do when you're, say for example, editing this logo, and maybe potentially I don't want this waffle character. So I like it, it's cute, but I kind of don't want it. Say for example, I just kind of move that out of the way. And I want to use maybe a different asset. Say, for example, I found something on Google that I kind of want to trace or just kind of draw inspiration from. So I've downloaded a logo which is kind of like a vintage coffee cup to sort of repurpose it into a coffee sort of logo. I've downloaded this already. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to click and drag whatever you download, and you can actually drag and just pop this over to this side menu bar here on the left. When you do drag this over, the menu will automatically snap to the drop files to upload window, which you can click and drag, and you can see that Canva will upload this image. And once that's done, you can actually see that it's complete, and then you can just click on it, and you can click on that once and it will appear on your artboard as you need. So yeah, you can see obviously I've uploaded a bunch of other stuff for thumbnails, but you can see that it's really easy to actually do this. To upload plenty of different options or text fonts, images, video. The uploads window is kind of where you'll see all of this spread out between each, I guess, content type as well. All right. If you are, for example, creating this artwork and say, you kind of don't want this, I'll leave this here, but we'll go back to the home menu. Say I'm not really happy with the artwork one name, all you need to do is when you are in the home screen to change the name is to go over to the three dots and actually go to the three dots, and there's a pencil icon at the top here. It doesn't really make it clear, but you can click into this window here and then kind of change it into whatever you kind of want. So I'm going to just call this coffee logo, like final. And then all you need to do is hit enter or just click off, and you can see that it will say that the name has changed. If you want to place artwork in specific folders, say for example, like you've got some YouTube stuff, maybe some other artwork, maybe this is like coffee logo project. If you go to the projects tab here on the left hand side as well, this is where you can actually organize your work into different folders. So you can see that I've got a couple of folders here for engagement invitations or wedding invites. So you can see here the action to create a new folder is just basically go to the top right and go add new, and then you can just go folder, and then I'll create the folder and I'll call this coffee logo, and then I'll just leave the share option because I don't have a team. And there you go. So I've got the coffee logo. All you need to do is you can actually click and drag the artwork. So keep in mind, Canva's pretty intuitive, so you can actually drag a few objects around and move as you kind of need to. So I'll move this into the coffee logo window, and then it will say item move to coffee logo, and it'll pop up here. If you want to delete this, you can share it, you can remove it from the folder, you can move it back to the home folder by just going remove from folder. Yeah. To also make a copy of this is you just obviously hit the three dotted menu icon again and just go make a copy. So it will make a copy and it will automatically title it copy of whatever you called the previous doc. So we'll just go copy. Oh, sorry. Got ahead of myself there. So I'll just delete this and just go copy coffee logo final, and then whatever V2 standard. And then we'll just call it that. So you'll see that it's renamed it, and then you can rename this whatever you want in the future as well. If you want to go back into this file, you'll open it in a new tab, so I'll just close that and that one. Yeah, and then basically I'll just run through the side panel as well real quickly. So the options that Canva gives you is the templates and the styles option. So this is where you can pick and choose different new styles. If you're just kind of over this sort of vintage look and you want to make a new page with a new style and kind of edit like a new look and feel altogether, you can just click on it, and then it'll give you that design and populate the canvas, or you can change it as you wish. So this is kind of where we're sort of landing with this coffee logo. So I think this is quite good. So you can see how Canva's sort of thinking, and it's using its AI brain to sort of find what you're sort of after, which is really powerful again, as to what Canva does. So it's really cool to see this. Some cool designs there. So yeah, it will suggest the template style with a color palette as well. So yeah, keep that in mind. Really cool tool. There are other keyword options that you can pick from in this menu. There's so many styles. It'll give you color combos, etc. It'll give you color palette based off the logo that you've placed in there as well. So cool. Elements. This is where you can draw shapes, use different graphic options. You can search for anything that you want in here and it will find it for you. You know, let's just type in coffee cup, maybe vintage. We'll see what it brings up. There you go. So you've got a few of these nice vintage coffee cup illustrations that you can sort of use. That you can see Canva uses as well, which is so cool. You can change it based off the color palette as well, and you can change it to animated if you want to make like a story as well. I'll go into the few more of the shapes options in a separate video, but yeah, I'd encourage you to play around with this as well and search for whatever you're after. Text is basically just text windows. You can basically use any type of text. Say for example, you're not after this type of text, you can use maybe something a bit more cursive, a bit more, a bit more serif or sans serif. Sans serif obviously being something like this, and then serif being something a bit more cursive with a bit more of a ligature to the end of your text, such as these. So let's just say we want this font and we want to call this, I don't know, we'll call it coffee break, maybe coffee break. We can ungroup this. You can sort of see how that is just allowing us to really edit quite quickly and quite easily as well. So just go coffee break. Yeah, so we can sort of shift that around and move it to kind of how we want as well. I'm just going to color pick this. I'll show you how to do this in a separate video. It's quite straightforward. There you go. So something kind of like that to change it up. You can add your brand fonts here. If you've got like a specific font that you want to use all the time, you can add these here. If you've got a small business or a company, you can add these here as well. There's a lot to choose from, and you can also search. Let's just say, yeah, Paladins is a font that I uploaded recently. I don't think it's on here, but you can obviously find Arial. All the normal stuff is on there as well. Brand is basically that. It's just expanded on. So if you've got a business or a brand, for example, Coffee Break is your brand. You can add your logos here, your color palette, your fonts, any photos, any graphics. So when you do edit things, and if you use the font from the drop down menu, it will pop up as one of the first things that you've got here as well. So yeah, it's a very cool way to do that. Uploads are just basically where you upload everything, pretty self-explanatory. And then draw is where you can actually use their drawing tools. Canva allows you to use like a marker tool, for example. Let's say we want to add like a cool sort of thing here, like coffee break or something like that, or like something like that, and then we can actually play around with these shapes like color and recolor them as you kind of wish as well. Yeah, you can see how that can kind of work in this sort of instance as well. And then projects, you can go back and kind of just see your folders and edit and open things as you wish as well. It's super easy to organize your workflow like this. And then finally, you've got your apps. So this is quite good because Canva's added this fairly recently as well. There's a lot that you can sort of use with here. The best way I could probably say that the apps can work is I've used an app called Pixel Enhancer. This is where like apps for anything that you need to use in Canva, you can find them all here, like AI tools, colorizing, remove background tools, upscalers, that sort of thing. As an example, I'll just show you one more quick example very quickly. I don't think I've got it here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll use a previous image as an example. So I used this image from Adobe on a previous video, which kind of is a bit blurry, right? So I used it for this instance, but the app that I used here was Pixel Enhancer. So this actually upscales the resolution to be clearer at the scale that you're looking at it with. So if I choose the file on my artboard and I just go enhance selected image, this app will enhance my vector image, or I guess this image, low quality JPEG image, and upscale it to a high resolution version based off its size. So you can see it's doing its thing there, and it should show up with a nice upscaled version of this. And there you go. So if I hit replace, it will populate that. How cool is that? Really awesome tool. And then finally, we've got options at the top here. If I make a new canvas here, say for example, I'm just editing like a normal tile. This is your regular toolbar panel here, which has got all your options with fonts, size, color, italicized, line spacing and letter spacing. You can animate objects as well. You can edit based off different transitions and whatnot. So you can see how Canva's used all of these tools to create their suites of for marketing, HR, and creative and whatnot as well. You can position things, you can center things, and you can change the transparency of text as well based off a background color, maybe, for example. The last thing I'll probably say is when you are animating this, say for example this is like a 4-slide GIF or something like that, like a carousel GIF as a video with 4 images. You can change the timing if you click on the background and edit the timing here. So say for example this is a carousel, which I'll do maybe 0.5 seconds each. Apply to all pages. Yep. Oops. And I'll click off and then I'll say I'll just play from here. So I'll hit duration and this will show like 0.5 seconds. So you can see that this GIF is 2 seconds in length. It will say it here. You can zoom out and zoom in as you wish. Hit play. And then there's your GIF. I mean, it's really a really bad example, but you kind of get the idea as to how it kind of works. And then to delete objects on this panel, you can go delete. Or if you want to go back to the normal way of viewing things, you can just click off or go to a grid view. I would probably just say leave your workspace as is right here. Okay, so you can kind of work with all of these canvas options right now. If you click off, it will just change the position. If you click on something, you can see its editing option in the toolbar. Click on the background, it will give it its timing and animation options, and if you click on an actual object or text, it will give you that toolbar panel. So hopefully this has made a bit more sense. If you need a bit of coaching or need help with a project, or you just want advice, I do Calendly appointments as well. So let me know if you're interested, and I can drop the link in the description. Thanks.